I was having trouble placing the mic in my ponytail, so I'm just going to hold it like this, Gale Weathers style. So, if you know anything about movies or are chronically online, I'm sure you know that Challengers was one of the movies of the summer, if not the movie of the summer. And because I'm me, I wanted to take a moment to talk about Challengers and how it portrays female Black tokenism. So let's talk about our girl, Tashi Duncan. Tashi is very interesting because we really don't know much about her and her background. And you might argue that this isn't significant because none of the characters have much of a background, but Tashi is the main character, and most of the lore and story revolves around her. So I would think it would make more sense to give her a little bit more of a backstory, but I would argue that the writers intentionally wanted us to know a little bit about her, but not everything. One of the things the movie does a great job of is really getting the audience to understand Tashi's love for tennis. Anytime she's talking about life or reflecting or has an attitude, it relates to tennis. The one time we see her stray from this is one of the scenes where she's on the beach talking to the boys, and she tells them that instead of going pro, she's going to go to college to learn more about herself and her identity. And that is a decision that not only the boys mock, but consequently ends up destroying her career because she later suffers an injury while she's playing tennis at college. The one time she strayed from the hard hitting, ambitious tennis path, it cost her a lot. She still had tennis. She was able to play tennis at college, but this was a choice that involved showing herself compassion and humanity, and the universe backfired on her. Let's talk about what she means to the boys, Art and Patrick. The same way the movie doesn't tell us much about Tashi, the boys don't try to find out much about her. And when you look past the humor, the charm, the memes, the way they interact with her and view her is kind of fetishy. It's easy for a lot of this to go unnoticed because they talk about how much they love her athleticism and her ability to play tennis. But I don't know, a lot of the movie is spent seeing the boys talk about how much they want to have sex with her, how close they want to get to her. And it more so seems like tennis is a convenient avenue for them to express and channel their fixation on her. You may see these as expressions of love, but Art and Patrick don't see Tashi as a person. They see her as a prize. When I personally watched the movie, Tashi's character identity being both an athlete and a Black woman kind of get convoluted, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Historically, Black women have been absolute juggernauts when it comes to athletics, and they've gone through the ringer of being both deeply admired and dehumanized. Black women are also expected to train and teach those around them. Whether this was an idea that was internalized by Tashi herself or proposed by Art, when she was no longer a vehicle for tennis herself, she stepped into the role of being Art's trainer. And of course, Patrick wanted Tashi to destroy everything that she's built for herself so that she could train him instead of Art, so that Patrick could become a better athlete and he could have Tashi as a partner. I feel the need to mention that part of Zendaya's palpable nature within and outside of the film has to do with her having qualities that white America has deemed beautiful and acceptable. Although she is widely and rightly considered a woman of color, she is also thin, light skinned, cisgendered, and able bodied. These are things that are widely deemed as acceptable and are considered superior when put up against their counterparts. Off screen, it's Black women and athletes of different distinguishable features that tend to be the target of harsh treatment. All in all, this movie is a fantastic story that shows people's willingness to morph things in order to center their own fantasies, something Black women fall victim to best.